Everything has now gone west. In the United Kingdom, we have a phrase that we use to describe when something is in a terrible mess. We describe it as having gone west. Just as the sun at the end of each day slowly sets in the west. You see, the East is all about self-control. The East is all about self-defense. A truth that can be seen in the fact that both meditation, self-control, and the martial arts, self-defense, were both born of the East. The East for a long time was all about honor and integrity, with the West, on the other hand, all about gaining in wealth and possessions at whatever the cost. A trait that we of course now refer to as Western materialism. Well, the whole point of this video is to point out to you that everything has now, in fact, gone west. That the East has now sadly fallen into the trap of foolishly adopting many of our Western ways of doing things. A situation that will only hasten the collapse of this highly contradictory man-made world. This world of injustice and criminality. This world of unhappiness and dishonesty. This world in which almost everything is now the very opposite of how it was in fact originally designed to be. Now for me, the perfect example of how the Eastern and the Western mindsets have for a long time differed up until relatively recently can be seen in the Eastern invention of what we now refer to as gunpowder. You see, when gunpowder was first invented in the East, they used it to make fireworks. They used it to have fun. Unlike those Westerners, of course, who when they got hold of gunpowder, soon came up with many ways of using it to create weapons. Weapons they then used to both kill and destroy, to gain even more wealth and possessions. And yes, I do understand that the East has in many ways been forced into having to adopt many of our rottenly corrupt Western ways, mainly in an effort to survive. Now, the good thing about all of this is that as everything has now been thoroughly corrupted and made rotten, has now in fact gone west. As I said above, the coming collapse of this world of injustice and unhappiness cannot be far off. A collapse that simply must come about in order for something superior to eventually take its place, in order for truly meaningful change to occur. Best wishes, Andrew.